Hello everyone and welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, where we've been gassing games from the Kaspersky Arena. This time in the bottom left hand corner is our red Terran player. It's Millennium's ForGG, our current king of the hill, but trailing this series 1 game to 2. Our blue Protoss in the top right hand corner, MouzMana, is the source of those problems, leading the series 2-1. Mana's shown us some devious and sneaky Protoss tricks, utilising literally every tool in his disposal to try and get the best of our king of the hill. ForGG playing very well though, and certainly from the dominance we've seen in the first two series, certainly got more than enough moves to equal even the most wily Protoss opponent. So we'll see how both players handle this. The map is Derelict Watcher, so we'll certainly be seeing a different style of game to what we saw in the previous game on Aklon Waste. Aklon Waste, a map that's very easy for Protoss to take 3 bases and defend, so it's certainly a crowd favourite for Protoss games. I know as a Protoss player I generally like to play on it. Much easier to secure and defend your bases than on other maps. For example, third base on this map, much harder to hold. There's quite a distance between the 2 bases, but certainly presents some dynamic options for other races. Looks like Mana here is going for the same sort of opening that we've seen in other games. ForGG actually not grabbing his refinery straight off the bat. I wonder if that's a signal of different things to come in this game, or whether just mixing up the timing of things just a little bit. While we wait for this game to get underway, just want to thank everyone that's joined us here on the channel lately. We've had a lot of new subscribers and we always appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying yourselves here on Aussie Starcraft. By all means, make yourself at home. We love to hear from you, so any feedback or comments down below, we do take the time to read those and respond where we can. And by all means, share the videos with your friends, family, or any other diehard Starcraft fans you know out there. So looking forward to providing plenty of StarCraft 2 action to keep you busy over your holidays, and I've certainly spent a fair bit of mine casting these games, so certainly gotten a lot of StarCraft, and certainly excited for what the new season of Pro League will bring us. There's been some changes and announcements made by Blizzard, and we'll cover some of those in due course, but and even a few new maps in the map pool, so going to be a very exciting season 1 that's underway now. And excited to see what 2014 brings us. Mana moving out here with his first zealot quite aggressively. We do have a stalker behind this and a mothership as well, so very likely that Mana's decided to be quite aggressive with his opening units. We've got 3 marines on the way, and ForGG going old school on us. 3 barracks and no gas. It could be quite a gasless opening for ForGG, and we could be seeing mass marine out the wazoo, so not something we've seen out of ForGG thus far. We'll see how this goes for him. Just throwing down, actually throwing down double gas now, so looks like I'm slightly mistaken on that front, but certainly 3 barracks this early on is going to be an indication of things to come. Actually have Mana dropping his own Nexus on the low ground now. We've actually got some SCVs being pulled as well to tank the damage for these marines, allow them to clean up their zealot and put an end to some of these shenanigans that Mana's intending. So this is certainly an interesting opening as we see this poor zealot trying to hack his way through a wall of SCVs. A group of mass marines here is actually going to, oh no, clutch time warp's going to save the mothership core, but the mothership core low on energy here, so gonna be a bit vulnerable for a potential counter push. Mana being persistently irritating, using this time warp to its maximum advantage, picking off quite a lot of marines, but as we can see, ForGG just macroing up relentlessly behind this constant stream of marines. 3 more on the way. And what ForGG really wants to do is pick off this mothership core. If he can grab this, it's going to open the way for him to counter-attack, and there won't be a whole lot of Protoss units behind this. That stalker almost going down here. Mothership core will get picked off, and that's a big pickup for ForGG. Now right in the face of these stalkers, the second stalker almost dead here. Mana's going to pick off a few more marines. The remainder of these marines quite orange. Sounds like some sort of emotional state, you know, quite blue or those sorts of things. These marines taking a substantial amount of damage. ForGG would really love some upgrades on these, either Stim or Combat Shield, to make a world of difference. These Stalkers able to consistently irritate, but walking straight up the ramp is going to cost that Stalker his life. And we see it's fairly even on the units lost count. We actually have ForGG in the lead. His expansion up with an orbital command. Mana likewise chrono boosting out workers here. A few more warp gates and a robotics facility on the way. So we'll see how these players continue to adapt from here. We have a reactor and a tech lab going down, so ForGG is certainly going to be ramping up his production. A lot of these Marines now choosing to move out. We don't have a lot in the way of defense. We have 3 Stalkers and a Zealot, so certainly going to be plenty left to deter any vanilla Marine harassment. But it's the follow-up to this that Mana needs to be really concerned with. There's no Mothership Core on the field. And the Mothership Core, I've said it, oh no, there is, sorry, my mistake guys, it was rebuilt by Mana. Almost has enough energy for that photon overcharge, and this Mothership Core really crucial. I know I say it a lot, but it's the Mothership Core's photon overcharge that makes it much easier for Protoss players to hold their ramp, particularly in that first the first crucial engagement around the 9, 10, 11 minute mark. So Mana here trying to snipe the Mothership Core again, but instead just getting a few sentries and Stalkers. Going to continue producing units fairly constantly. Marines coming even though there's Tech Lab. Would expect to see some Marauders in short order. We actually have our first starport on the way and a reactor on the factory, so you could see quite a few Widow Mines moving out. Indeed, we have 2 in this medevac. And it's quite a popular drop for ForGG, but actually going to get spotted by this this overactive probe here, looking to establish a forward pylon. Actually in the ideal spot to catch this medevac. Medevac going to continue going for the natural expansions, in spite of the fact that Mana obviously thinks it may loop back for the main. We do have an observer on the way, which will be fairly important in detecting these Widow Mines. We'll see just where Mana decides to position that. We have the medevac boost in now. The mines are going to be dropped here, and they're actually going to get burrowed before these workers can get away. And that's going to be a big detonation on the Widow Mine. 4 detonations on the first one. Second Widow Mine actually sitting in here behind the main mineral line. Going to get 1 kill there. Not quite as many as it would perhaps like. Widow Mines are going to stay in position, and this Widow Mine actually quite concealed in the mineral line. If ForGG is not careful, it may not actually be cleaned up in time. The observer was moving out across the field, and these Widow Mines could well both get another detonation in here. One up in the main base, very close to coming off cooldown. Will the observer make it in time? It's a race against the clock. No, I think this Widow Mine will detonate again. And unfortunately, 5 workers going down there. So very expensive mistake there from Mana, allowing that worker to get a lot of damage. A big follow-up drop here from ForGG straight into the main base. This second Widow Mine getting cleaned up by the photon overcharge, but that's going to leave nothing left to defend here in the main. Can ForGG pick off these sentries? They're quite exposed now, out of energy for the force field. These 2 Marauders just going to body slam their way forward through these Stalkers. Two Stalkers have gone down, 3rd one now going down, and the final Stalker actually is going to be picked off here and allow these Marines and Marauder to do quite a lot of damage inside the main base of Mana. So Mana actually looking like a team that's on the ropes this game. ForGG returning the favour from last game quite aggressively. Seeing more Marines and Marauders being medevaced right to the front line. So looks like ForGG's solution is just to ignore the expansion. Well, he's actually, as soon as I say that, decides to come down quite aggressively. But Mana GG's out of the game right as ForGG muscles his way and force the photon overcharge in the main base, and then drop down into the natural to do critical damage here. So ForGG showing he can be just as aggressive as Mana, and taking game 4 in spectacular style means we're going to game 5, ladies and gentlemen, a tiebreaker to see who stays on the hill and who is sent packing. So will ForGG clean out his 3rd round of the Kaspersky Arena, or will he fall and a new challenger take the place? So we will see in game number 5. Hope you guys have enjoyed the cast. If you haven't subscribed, by all means, please do. Love to see you on the channel in the future. And apart from that, we will catch you all in the next cast. Thanks, guys.